Hey guys! So to start, I'm priming my eye with Urban Decay's Anti-Aging Primer Potion, and I'm just blending that in all over with my ring finger. For my shadows, I'm going into the L'Oreal Le Palette Nude, and I'm taking this light matte brown on a fluffy brush, and that's going to be my transition shade. So that's going into my crease, well, just above my crease, and blending upwards and outwards, and that'll just give my darker colour something to blend into. Next, on the same brush, we're going into a medium brown, so a little bit darker, but again it's a matte for the crease, and we're going back into the crease of that, blending outwards into that transition shade. Next, for some nice bright shimmers on the lid, I'm using my Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm taking the lightest shade, which is Forever Lit, and I'm applying that into the inner corner. I'm just like slightly blending it out so that there's no harsh lines around it, and it blends up onto the lid nicely. And then for the lid, I'm going into Forever Young, which is slightly darker. So I'm taking that from the inner corner where it meets that whiter shade and blending it across the lid. Then I'm taking this matte dark brown and we're going back into the crease and outer corner. So I'm blending that, as you can see, like on the outer corner of the lid and then into the crease as well to create that outer V shape. Now the key for me for doing winged out eyeshadow looks on hooded eyes is to wing it out from underneath. So for today we're going to be using the tape method. So I'm using some Scotch tape that I've taken off some of the stickiness already on the back of my hand, and we'll be placing that starting from under the lower lash line and then angling it at the right angle for your eye. You could also do this freehand or blend out your shadows and then clean it up with a makeup wipe, but I like to use a tape, so I'm just placing mine at the angle that I want it, and as you can see it takes a few goes to get it as you want, on my eyes anyway, and definitely after I do the second piece of tape as well, I like to make sure that they're even then again. So this is going to create our wing for us, so I'm going back into my dark brown that I was just using, and I'm blending it from the wing of the tape, blending it inwards into the crease and onto the lid. And normally a hooded eye or an overhanging crease can create kind of a dip in your wing, but you can avoid that by just looking straight into the mirror and bringing your shadow straight across from the wing of the tape into the crease. So then we're going into some black to really darken up that outer corner. So again, I'm starting from the wing of the tape and then I'll wing it out and then bring it right into the lid and onto the crease. And the darker we're getting with our shadows, the more precise we're getting, so we're not blending them too high up above any of the other transition colours. And again, that colour is coming from the outer wing straight across into the crease to avoid any dipping. Then I'm switching to the tip of a flat brush and I'm using that to apply the black to the outer half of the lower lash line so that the black carries on under the eye as well. Now moving on to liner, I'm using the 77 eyeliner gel from Inglot and I'm lining my top lash line with that. And for this look we won't be winging out the liner, we're going to leave that to the shadow because the shadow is much softer and much more forgiving. Using a dark liner and then winging it out as well will just draw attention to any dips or bumps that your hooded eye or crease will create. So we're just lining the lash line just to the corner of the eye. Then I'm going to take a thicker angled brush and go back into the black, and we're going to use that to kind of conceal the point where the liner ends and the shadow begins. So I'm just popping the black over the very outer corner of that liner and just blend it into the black that's winging out. And then just to soften any harsh lines that angled brush might have created, I'm taking a touch of the black on my blending brush and just using circular motions to blend that outer V again. And once again to make sure that there's no dipping in my black. So now we can remove our tape, and that reveals our nice sharp line. And then I'm switching to a small little smudger style brush and the medium brown shade that we had used. And I'm using that to blend out the black that's under the eye. So we're going to blend it in more into the inner corner, and also to blend it down a little bit to make it more soft and not so harsh. So then I'm just curling my lashes and applying mascara before I apply my false lashes. And the lashes I'm wearing are the ChristineMUA 415s. And then I did my base off camera because I did the exact same thing I did in my last tutorial. So I used my Flormar and my Kat Von D foundations, my MAC Longwear concealer, and my Shiseido UV protective powder. Then for my brows, again it's actually the same as I did in my last tutorial, but I didn't want to do too much off camera. So I'm using my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso, and I'm just outlining underneath and then outlining on top and then filling in. And through the front, I'll just do a few little hair-like strokes, and then I'll brush all that product through with the spoolie that's at the end of the pencil. For bronzer, I'm using my Tan Organic Bronzing Duo and taking the bronzing side, and I'm just popping that under my cheekbones and giving it a good blend out. For me, I like to use a bronzer as kind of a transition shade for my contour, so I'll then go back in and deepen it up with a darker shade. And this shade on my skin tone at the moment takes a good bit of product, so I like to be able to layer it up and blend it out. And then I'll also take it under my jawline and around my hairline as well. So for my contour then, I'm taking the darkest shade from this Makeup Revolution contour palette, and I'm going back into those same areas under my cheekbones, around the hairline and under the jaw, and as I said, it'll just deepen it up, sharpen it up and give it more of a shadowy appearance rather than bronzed and tanned. For my blush, I'm going into my Zoeva Sun Power palette, and I'm taking this darker blush shade and I'm using that on the apples of the cheeks and blending backwards. Again, I'm just using a little bit at a time so that I can build it up and really blend it out. Then for highlight, I'm taking Glow Getter from the Nicole Guerrero palette, and I'm using that on a fan brush and applying that to the tops of my cheekbones, and then to avoid it looking too stripe-like, I also like to take it up around the temples as well, and that'll just create kind of a little halo. And then I'm also just highlighting my Cupid's bow and the tip and bridge of my nose. For my lips then, I'm taking my Kiko Smart Fusion lip pencil in the shade 533. You might have seen me use this again in my last tutorial. It's a nice browny pinky nude shade, so I'm just aligning my lips with that to get my shape. And then for my lips, I'm taking the Rimmel Apocalypse in the shade 101 Celestial. And then once that's applied, that completes the look. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up by clicking the like button that's down below, and also subscribe for more videos if you haven't already. As always, there will be a full product and brush list on my blog, and I'll have that linked down below. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!